Hare Krishna, So we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Canto, Chapter 2, verse 27. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritam Namaskritam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nasta Prayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Ekayanu So Dvi Palas Tribulas Chaturasa Panchavita Sad Atma Saptatva Ashta Vikapo Navaksho Dasachadi Dvikago Yadi Vriksha Ekayano Sadvi Palastri Manas Chatarasya panchavidha sadatma Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma Saptatvag astavitapo navaksho Dasha chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Kayanuso dvipalas tribulas Chaturasya panchavidha padatma Sadatma Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho Dasa chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Kayanuso dvipalas tribulas Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho Dasa chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Kayanuso dvipalas tribulas Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho Dasa chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Kayanuso dvipalas tribulas Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho Dasha chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Kayanuso dvipalas tribulas
Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma
Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma
Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho
Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho Dasa chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Kayanuso dvipalas tribulas Chaturasya panchavidha sadatma Saptatvagastavitapo navaksho Dasa chadi dvikagohyadi vriksha Ekayana. The body of an ordinary living being is fully dependent on the material elements. Also, that Dvipala, in this body we are subject to material happiness and distress, which result from karma. Trimula, having three roots, the three modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, upon which the body is created. Chaturasa, four rasas, or tastes. Panchavidha, consisting of five senses. for acquiring knowledge. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch.
Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch.
Sat Atma, six circumstances:
Circumstances.
lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst.
Limitation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst.
Sat Tatwa, having seven ovaries: skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow, and semen.
Skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow, and semen.
Astavitapa, 8 branches. The 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And also the mind, intelligence, and ego. Nava Aksha, 9 holes. Dasa Chadi, 10 kinds of life air, resembling the leaves of a tree. Dvikaga, 2 birds, the individual soul and the super soul. Ye, indeed. Adivriksha, this is the original tree or construction of the material body, whether individual or universal. Translation and purport of Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The body, the total body, and the individual body are of the same composition. May figuratively be called the original tree. From this tree, which fully depends on the ground of material nature, come 2 kinds of fruit: the enjoyment of happiness and the suffering of distress. The cause of the tree, forming its 3 roots, is association with the 3 modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The fruits of bodily happiness have 4 tastes: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, which are experienced through the senses for acquiring knowledge in the midst of 6 circumstances: lamentations, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst. The 7 layers of bark covering the tree are skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow, and semen. And the 8 branches of the tree are the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and gross ego. The tree of the body has 9 hollows: the eyes, the ears, the nostrils, the mouth, the rectum, and the genitals, and 10 leaves, the 10 airs passing through the body. In this tree of the body there are 2 birds. One is the individual soul, and the other is the super soul. Let us repeat. The body, the total body, and the individual body are of the same composition. May figuratively be called the original tree. From this tree, which fully depends on the ground of material nature, come 2 kinds of fruit: the enjoyment of happiness and the suffering of distress. The cause of the tree, forming all 3 roots in association with the 3 modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The fruits of the bodily happiness have 4 tastes: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, which are experienced through the senses for acquiring knowledge in the midst of these circumstances: lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst. The 7 layers of the bark covering the tree are skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow, and semen. And the 8 branches of the tree are the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. The tree of the body has 9 hollows: the eyes, the ears, the nostrils, the mouth, the rectum, and the genitals, and 10 leaves, the 10 airs passing through the body. In this tree of the body there are 2 birds. One is the individual soul, and the other is the super soul. Purport. This material world is composed of 5 principal elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, all of which are emanations from Krishna. Although materialistic scientists may accept these 5 primary elements as the cause of the material manifestation, these elements in their gross and subtle states are produced by Krishna, whose marginal potency also produces the living entities working within this material world. The 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita clearly states that the entire cosmic manifestation is a combination of 2 of Krishna's energies, the superior energy and the inferior energy. The living entities are the superior energy, and the inanimate material elements are his inferior energy. In the dormant stage, everything rests in Krishna. Material scientists cannot give such thorough analysis of the material structure of the body. The analysis of the material scientist concerns itself only with the inanimate matter, but this is inadequate because the living entity is completely separate from the material bodily structure. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 5, the Lord says, Aperayam itastutuan yam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dayate jagat. Besides this inferior nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind which consists of all the living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. Although the material elements emanate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, they are separated elements and are sustained by the living elements. As indicated by the word Dvikaga, the living elements within the body resemble 2 birds in a tree. Ka means sky, and Ga means one who flies. Thus, the word Dvikaga refers to birds. In the tree of the body, there are 2 birds, or 2 living elements, and they are always different. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 3, the Lord says, Kshetragyam chatimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. O Scion of Bharat, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies. The Kshetragyan, the owner of the body, is also called the Kaga, the living entity. Within the body, there are 2 such Kshetragyans, the individual soul and the super soul. The individual soul is the owner of his individual body, but the super soul is present within the bodies of all living entities. Such a thorough analysis and understanding of the bodily structure cannot be obtained anywhere but in the Vedic literature. When 2 birds enter a tree, One may foolishly think that the birds become one or merge with the tree, but actually they do not. Rather, each bird keeps his individual identity. Similarly, the individual soul and the super soul do not become one, nor do they merge with matter. The living entity lives close to the matter, but this does not mean that he merges or mixes with it. Asango hiya ayam purusha. Although material scientists mistakenly see the organic and inorganic or animate and inanimate to be mixed, Vedic knowledge has been kept imprisoned or concealed, but every human being needs to understand it in truth. The modern civilization of ignorance is simply engaged in analyzing the body, and thus people come to the erroneous conclusion that the living force within the body is generally under certain material conditions. People have no information of the soul, but this verse gives the perfect explanation that there are two living forces, Dvikaga, the individual soul, and the super soul. The super soul is present in everybody. Ishvaraha sarva bhutana, hrideshe arjunatistati. Whereas the individual soul is situated only in his own body, dehi, and is transmigrating from one body to another. Om Gyan Timarandasya Tinadena Salakaya Taksu Om Vilukandena Taspai Sukadena Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Statitam Devi Kayo Swaya Rupa Kadamayan Vidati Suman Kadakita Nachakakpa Tarudosya Vipasindu Devicha Patitanam Padaredio Daista Radio Namo Namam Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Rupale Shrimate Tamal Krishna 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 Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Rupale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Krishna Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurudani Pucharine Nirvisesha Sumagati Paschatya Deshakaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gauri Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the Sanskrit verse is short, but the synonyms is very long. It's a complete. The translation of Sri Prabhupada is very complete. He mentioned everything that is associated with all the words. So this verse pertains or describes the constitution of the living entity. The living entity is the soul being described here, and there are two living entities inside each material body. If you read the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam up to second canto and up to third, Krishna is being described as the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he expanded himself into four Chaturvyuha. Balaram, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, and Aniruddha. And from Sankarshan or Balaram, he expanded himself into the Mahapurusha. the Purusha avatars, namely Mahavishnu or the Karanagatasa Vishnu, who is in charge of creating all the universes, not only one universe. We are inside one of the universes emanating from the spiritual body of Mahavishnu. So when Mahavishnu he brings out all the universes, comes out from his pores of the body, and when he breathes in, all the universes are destroyed and amalgamates with the body of Mahavishnu. That's the creation and the destruction of the universe. And it takes, compared to the human years, it takes around 311 trillion years. So breathing one breath of Mahavishnu is equivalent to 311 trillion human years, 311 million to 311 trillion years. If you try to determine how many lifetimes of human beings is 311 trillion years, divided by 100, the average lifespan of the human being during Kali Yuga is only 100 years, and 311 divided by 100, it becomes 3.11 trillion years. That's the number of lifetimes that we 3.11 trillion years. Trillion times that we will die and be born again in a human body during Kali Yuga. So we are nothing. Here in this verse, we are termed as part of the marginal energy, marginal spiritual energy of the Supreme Lord. And our nature, according to this verse, is Sat-Chit Ananda. Sat-Chit and Ananda. Sat means eternal, Chit means all-knowing, and Ananda means all bliss or happiness. So our original position is that we are eternal, we are full of knowledge, and we are full of bliss or happiness. But somehow we are covered by this material body which is being described here in this verse. The verse mentioned about the different material elements like fire, water, air, earth, and then the subtle elements, the ether, the mind, and intelligence. And then we are subject to this material world with death, birth, old age, disease, hunkering, and lamentation. So it seems that this material world, according to this verse also, the universe is likened to a big body, which is also composed of the same elements as each individual body. So in each individual body, Mahavishnu expands himself into Garbhodaksa Vishnu, and he enters every universe. That's how powerful Krishna is and how powerful his expansions are his expansions. So Garbhodakasai Vishnu enters each universe, and from the navel of Garbhodakasai Vishnu comes out Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma has the same spiritual characteristic as we are. Anyone can be Lord Brahma. Whatever your sex is, eventually if you want to become Lord Brahma, the creator of the whole universe, the creator of living entities inside the universe, you can become a Lord Brahma if you have perfected being a Brahmana for 100 times. 100 times according to Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why it is said that nothing happens by chance. Everything is being sanctioned or being approved by the Paramatma or the Holy Spirit inside the body. That's why if a devotee knows this, the devotee will respect all living entities, even the smallest ant, even the smallest living entity. So some will not believe what happens in Srimad Bhagavatam. You say that the lifespan of Lord Brahma is 311 trillion years. The lifespan of the demigods, if you become a demigod and go up to the Swargalok or the heavenly planets, because you die in the mode of goodness, then you will live there for around 20,000 years, 20,000 human years. No, not 20, 10,000 human years. Divided by that by 100 human years for a lifetime, it will be, we have lived and died here 100 times, but the demigods are just about to die or go down to this earthly planet. So all these things are being described in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. But the devotees who knows the difference between the material realm and the spiritual realm, eventually the devotee desires to go back to the spiritual world where we were once. So here in the purport of Srila Prabhupada said that when the body dies, the individual retains their individual identities. They do not merge with the material body, or they do not merge with God. You can merge with God if you have that kind of mukti or liberation, wherein you can merge with the Brahma Jyoti or the light coming from the feet of Lord Krishna. But the devotees knows that his Sanatana Dharma is to become servant of the Supreme Lord. Servant means one can be a lover, one can be a friend, one can be a parent, one can be the son, or one can be the servant, actual servant of the Supreme Lord. So this is the supreme goal of all living entities who are trapped in this material world. So unless one becomes perfect before he dies, then he has to go back and receive another body. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, if you die, and also Bhagavad Gita, if you die in the mode of ignorance, those who gamble, those who eat fish, meat, and eggs, those who commit illicit sex or sex out of marriage, and those who take intoxicants, they are in the mode of ignorance, and so they go first to the hellish planet. If you commit illicit sex, then you can become either a dog or a cat, where there is no control in sexual activities. But in the human form, there are rules and regulations so that one will not be degraded in one's life. So, if you die in the mode of passion, you go back to this earthly planet. If you die in the mode of goodness, you go up to the heavenly planets and stay there for thousands of years, and then go back to this earthly planet to be born in a quite good situation. So those who are born with very beautiful, they come from the heavenly planets. They still have good karma, so that they will be born in very lucky, very beautiful, very intelligent, and they earn much money. Usually I take an example was given by Srila Prabhupada. He said that the Beatles came directly from the heavenly planets. He said that they were once there in the Swargalok or heavenly planets as one of the demigods. So, if you analyze one of the very famous singer now, Taylor Swift, who is so beautiful and so lucky, one song will earn her millions of dollars. So, most probably he comes directly from the heavenly planets. So, we are not this body, according to this verse, and our body is covered. According to this, our body is covered by 6 coverings, 7 layers: skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow, and semen. So we are just a bag of stool. Our body is just a bag. The bag is the skin, and inside are blood, semen, stool, so on and so forth. So we should eventually realize that we are not this body, and if we want to become free or be liberated from this material world, we should try to perform the sacrifice. And the sacrifice for this day and age is simply the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whether you like it or not, this is the process. If you read the Bible also says In Revelation, it said that the first batch that will be saved, 144,000, they are singing a new song which they could only learn. What is that song? That song is the Hare Krishna mantra. So I'll stop here and ask if there are questions. Maya, do you have any question? From Dulce. Question. Wala.
I want more clarification on the super soul.
Super soul, yeah.
How different is it from the soul? It's above the soul. The soul is within the body, right?
The soul is within the area of the heart. And the size of the soul is marginal, meaning, according to one of the Puranas, you take one hair, divide the tip of the hair into 100, take one part of 100 and divide it again by 100. That's the size of the soul. 10,000 of the tip of the hair. So very small. So the spiritual spark can enter any material body, like elephant, dinosaurs before, dragons, fish, human beings. But the super soul of this Paramatma or the Holy Spirit also sits side by side in the heart with the spiritual spark. So the super soul of Paramatma is in the heart of every living entity. Now you may question, how does Krishna knows everything? So he knows everything because one of his expansions, the Paramatmas, enters even the smallest atom. He is in each everyone's heart. So he knows what you're thinking. It's like a super internet. So the network of God is through the Paramatma in this material world. Because the Paramatma may server sa bawat atom. There is a server there. And the server is the Paramatma. So if Krishna wants what Professor Dulce is thinking, Krishna will communicate with the Paramatma. And the karma, the good and the bad karma, were witnessed by the Paramatma. So he knows your good and bad karma. So when you are to be born again, the Paramatma is also the one who arranges the type of body, material body that you will attain. So if you act like a pig in this material world, instead of a human being, then the Paramatma will arrange that you become a pig. In the next slide.
And then the super soul is higher than the soul in terms
Yes.
In terms of what?
And the spark and the spiritual entity or the spark does not merge with the super soul. They are separate. as all individuals are separate.
So each of us have super souls,
Yes.
but we have to go.
One of the process of yoga, which is meditation or mystic meditation, is to be able to connect with the super soul. So you meditate on the expansion of God as the Paramatma inside the soul. When you are able to access the internet, the network of the super soul, then you can somehow connect with other living entities. So may mystic power can. You can, for example, I have that kind of mystic power. I can read his mind.
Yes.
Just as the Paramatma can read the minds.
Okay.
So there's a mystic power wherein you can read minds. Yeah? And you attain that by meditation, mystic meditation, wherein here there are 10 kinds of life air being discussed. And the process of meditation is to uplift the life air, different life airs towards the upper part of the brain.
So Prabhupada must have had the super soul already, so he could.
The super soul is always there in everyone. It's in Srila Prabhupada.
We just have to make.
And Srila Prabhupada is so much in contact with this super soul, right? Because he is so powerful. He established the Hare Krishna movement. So he was directly being guided by the super soul. Even the spiritual masters, according to Srimad, it is said that the spiritual masters are being directly guided by the super soul, so that when the disciple approaches the spiritual master, the disciple, without even telling what's his problem or her problem, the spiritual master knows. He's being guided what to speak of the disciple.
And I suppose when you say meditation, chanting the holy name.
The process of meditation wherein you sit in a secluded place.
Yes.
By pranayam, you try to control the senses.
Yes.
And then your eyes half closed. You focus it on the tip of your nose.
Yes.
If your nose is flat,
Just focus.
you're not supposed to do meditation.
Yeah.
So that process was during Satya Yuga, Golden Age. That's a process of perfection. But in this day and age, it's very easy. Simply the chanting of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Because I think when you're chanting, you're going to a higher plane and it's more quiet.
Yeah, your mind is being controlled.
Yeah.
You are able to control the mind.
Yeah.
Because if you are not able to control your mind, then it is your enemy.
Yes.
But if you are able to control your mind, then it is your best friend. So most devotees, because they are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, They are able to control anger, lust, greed, and envy, and fear. So eventually the devotee is fearless. The devotee is the friend to everyone. He has no more enemies. Just as Jesus Christ instructed, love your enemies. If you are reading the Bible, you will not be able to do what Jesus Christ was saying. Love your enemies. Isn't it? How can I love my enemies?
Love your enemies as you love yourself.
No.
No?
That's the golden rule. Love your neighbors as you love yourself.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
That's the golden rule.
Yes, that's all.
But loving your enemies is a higher principle, wherein even though you are being somebody is giving pain to you,
Yes.
in the normal sense, it is your enemy.
Yeah.
But in a higher sense, your enemy, your so-called enemy is just giving you pain because in your previous life, you gave pains to him. So by knowing that, you can put yourself in a humble situation and accept the cross being given to you.
Yeah.
So Jesus Christ was able to carry his cross, even be nailed on the cross. And yet he said, God, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do.
Yeah.
So when you are being persecuted, just ask yourself, am I being nailed on the cross now? Am I being nailed on the cross already? So if you remember Jesus Christ being nailed on the cross, and yet there was no anger in his heart against those people who nailed him on the cross. So if you always think, you remember that when somebody is banging you up, then you can forgive,
Yeah.
you can tolerate.
Yeah.
That's why in one of the six Shastaka, Trinata Pisarichena, Kavarati, Sarisnada, Amanina, Manadena, Pitania, Sadahi. So one must be lower than a blade of grass and tolerant as a tree. You can chant the holy names constantly.
I'm just going like this. Sometimes you meet certain circumstances like that. That's karma, right?
Yeah.
What karma? Jesus being nailed on the cross. That's
It's
karma.
not karma.
What was it?
Because he took the fishermen, the apostles, as his disciple.
Yes.
So when a spiritual master accepts disciples, the spiritual master accepts their karma. So it's not Jesus Christ's karma. It's the karma or the sins of his disciples. So when you take initiation, you promise to your guru that you will obey or follow the four regulative principles, being vegetarian, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no illicit drugs. And then chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. Srila Prabhupada said, when you do that daily, eventually you will attain perfection. Perfection is attained by constant practice.
Yes.
Practice leads to perfection. So chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra always 16 rounds per day, around 2 to 2.5 hours a day is the process to attain perfection.
Because it lifts you up. It lifts you up from
Yes,
the material.
because the names, the holy names are beyond material, is transcendental.
And when you do it, parang it empties the mind of anything. So you just hear Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, baby.
Is the individual soul and the super soul comparable to consciousness and super consciousness?
No.
How do they differ?
So Krishna is the controller of everything. He is the source or the cause of everything. Then he expands. Now the super soul is an expansion of Krishna, which is also eternal. Sat, Chit, and Ananda. But its characteristic is that it is not, cannot be covered by material energy. So you have the material energy of Krishna. Because we are marginal, we are very different from the super soul. Then we are easily covered by material energy. So right now we are covered. Our consciousness is covered. Why? Because we have a material body. So the material covering of the spiritual part, which is very small, keeps us here in this material world. So different living entities, different covering. Like the dog is covered by the material body of the dog. So its consciousness is that of a dog. They're always looking for a she-dog. While the she-dog is looking for a he-dog. So the covering of the ant, the consciousness is of the ant consciousness. So in the material world, there are 8.4 million species of life. So if you are an ant, then you go to the cycle of birth and death, until you reach the human form. So the human form is a pinnacle of consciousness, human consciousness, wherein you can ask nice questions. Why am I here? Why am I suffering? Who is God? Who am I? Yung self-realization.
So yung collective consciousness mo nag-i-exist po?
Collective consciousness. Collective consciousness, no. There is collective karma. So Filipinos, we have collective karma. That's why we are born as Filipinos. Our body covering is Filipino. While the Russians, they have collective karma as Russians. They have better material body than us. They are taller, the skin is white. But in the spiritual platform, everything is equal. Whether you are Filipino, Russian, or a Hindu, or Hare Krishna, or Ananda Margi, everyone is in the same spiritual platform. But the difference is the consciousness. So right now there is the Krishna consciousness or the consciousness of the Supreme God. We want to reach that level of always thinking of God. That's Krishna consciousness. Right now we are thinking of a lot of things except Krishna. Isn't it?
Yes.
I'm fond of basketball. Sometimes I think who will win in NBA. So everyone is like that. Everyone 24 hours a day. Are you thinking of God? But for the devotees, at least they're starting 2.5 hours a day. They're chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And then if they have altar in their homes, they will offer the food, they offer incense. So the consciousness, the material consciousness, if you are practicing devotional service, is being transformed into God consciousness. Slowly but surely, through devotional service, eventually you will attain the so-called highest objective in life, which is love of God, bhakti. Yoga means to connect. That's the real meaning of yoga, to connect with God. And bhakti is the highest connection with God, wherein you attain the original position of loving God.
I am curious about the cows because you said you get into the material body of your soul. What about the cows? Because they're
The cows are the friends of Krishna.
and why is that?
That's why he's called Govinda, one who gives pleasure to the cows. Gopal, one who is cowherd boy. Go.
Why does
So, in his pastimes, the cows are very intimate with him. The cows are considered our mother because they give us milk.
yes,
And through the milk, we can make so many products like yogurt,
yes,
ghee. We can make sweets out of milk. And we can offer to Krishna, who is so much fond with milk and sweets. So the cows are considered our mother. And when you kill your mother, so what kind of human being are you who kills one's mother? We have 6 kinds of mothers. And the cows is one of them. And Mother Earth, the nurse. So, in this day and age, human beings are killing our mothers, the cows.
yes. You know, I read this really makes you go vegetarian because I read that once Paul McCartney says, "Why eat all those meat and blood?" Oh no, blood. You're actually eating the blood when you kill animals. And that's so horrible.
In the Bible it says that even if you eat even a drop of blood,
Yeah.
God says, I will not even look at your face. One of the denominations in Christianity here in the Philippines teaches we should not eat blood. But they are not vegetarian. When you are not vegetarian, you cannot separate the blood 100% from the meat. So when you eat meat, you're still eating blood. So you're not following the the verses in the Bible not to eat blood. Actually, that instruction is eventually not to eat meat or not to kill.
Yeah. But it sounds really horrible when somebody says, don't eat meat and blood.
The effect of blood in the body, for example, that's why it said that it is in the mode of ignorance if you eat spoiled food, spoiled, or 13 hours after cooking. Why? Because there's so many bacteria already. Animal bacteria. And each animal bacteria will contribute a drop of blood. So you're eating blood, and the effect of taking such will produce uric acid. In chemistry, it says that the blood will be the ingredient that will enhance the production of uric acid.
Uric acid is the one that causes pain, like
Yeah.
arthritis,
Arthritis.
muscular pain, no?
Yes. So, for devotees, they should not also take the spoiled food because you're eating the bacteria.
You said also not yogurt.
Yogurt is good because you're not killing the lactobacillus.
Oh, yes, yes.
They are good bacteria or probiotic which enhances digestion in the stomach. And it kills the bad bacteria inside your stomach and prevents diseases.
What is the difference between vegan and vegetarian? Because Paul McCartney is a vegan.
Vegan is same movement.
Vegan means those who do not take eggs, milk products.
This
But because devotees are protecting the cows, and the milk produces fine brain cells in the head so that you can understand higher principles of spirituality. So the milk is very important. Now, the commercial milk which are being produced, it contains what? Because they are using the suction vacuum. Sometimes if the pressure, vacuum pressure is not controlled, blood will be suctioned by the vacuum. But devotees, they need the milk.
unlike the olden times where,
But in India,
yes.
the milk that is being produced in India are mostly done by the manual.
Manually, that, yes.
So the vegans, they say that you will have, some say that you will have consciousness of the cow. No. Some say that it's bad to drink milk because you get the consciousness of the cow.
So the vegans are what?
Vegans, although they have lower small bad karma anymore, they do not know the pastimes of Krishna. They know the principle of being vegan, being environment friendly, but more. Because meat industry is the most polluter, the greatest polluter earth. So the vegans, they still don't know the principle of offering food to Krishna.
I see. I see.
So they still, according to Bhagavad Gita, if you don't offer, if you eat anything that is not offered, you're only eating sin. Why? How can you explain that you're eating sin when it is not offered? Because when you eat a mango without offering, then you have a debt to the mango tree. When you eat mustard leaves or any vegetables, you have debts to those living entities who produce the vegetables. Then you have to come back to pay those debts. Sin, the definition of sin is that anything not connected with Krishna. So anything not connected with Krishna will produce either bad or good karma. So that's a reason to come back, have another material body, to die, to be born, to get sick and grow old.
Because my nephew and my niece, they told me to eat plant-based. But you're right, if it's not offered to
No, plant-based, you can make veggie meat, you can make gluten out of wheat flour, protein from wheat. And then if you still have, if you are a new vegetarian, it's a transition between becoming a vegetarian and a meat eater. So, like me before 35 years ago, I need to eat those pseudo meat, veggie hot dog, veggie everything. You have veggie fish,
veggie fish. I thought,
yeah, there's veggie fish. And that's I have to those who wants to afflict themselves from it eating. Okay?
One more, Prabhu.
One more.
Why is there a monkey there?
Why is there a monkey? Because in Vrindavan there are lots of monkeys.
Where, Prabhu?
Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the place where Krishna did his pastime. So when you go to Vrindavan, there are lots of monkeys. So when one of those who designed this temple, he have gone so many times from Vrindavan and he met many monkeys. And to somehow recreate the environment in Vrindavan,
I thought that's it because you said a while ago that that's like karma, you're in a
no.
animal's body.
No, according to Srila Prabhupada, those who are living or born in Vrindavan, they are not ordinary souls.
Okay.
They are sannyasis who fell down, but still they are in Vrindavan and they will be elevated in the next birth. So, although when you come to Vrindavan, you meet a lot of pigs going around. No one touches the pigs there because almost everyone in Vrindavan are vegetarian. And in our principle, we look at everyone, even the smallest entity, as equal because they are also spirit souls, only in a different consciousness. So yung tanong ni Mother kanina, yun yun. So there's no actual equal. What's your term? Collective consciousness. Only God has the collective consciousness because He knows everything. So only God can do that. But one who connects to the Paramatma can somehow know the consciousness of other living entities. And that's one of the mystic powers. And one can attain that through proper meditation. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Gatraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shri Radha Madhav Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai Gora Premanande.